Howdy everybody, and welcome to something a little new. I'm doing just this little thing as I'm looking for filler stuff. But I'm going to be teaching you guys how to quickly climb through the new game cycles. And to begin with, I'm just starting out. Right here, I'm at the end of NG2 heading into beginning Journey 3. My save data got wiped, so I thought I may as well record this and show off what I'm doing, just to kind of give a better example, but I'll show you right here. If you begin Journey 3, I'm showing you that I am starting fresh immediately from the start of the game. I'm not going to be commentating all of this. Instead, what I will do is I will speed up. There's a lot of running in this, but I'm going to go over some steps, okay? If you didn't know, there is a glitch. It's not a glitch, it's abusing mechanics, abusing the coding of the game, really. In Farum, the dev spawn spot, aka the debug spot where you spawn in if the game doesn't know where to put you, is at the start of Farum. However, early on, you can reach Farum still through the imbued stone sword key. And that's actually what we're going to be doing here, is going through that, and then just, we don't really need to be fighting this thing, honestly, but, just use the stone sword key, imbued stone sword key to go to Farum, and then you time out closing the game properly. In this case, I'm on PlayStation, PlayStation 5. And then when you load back in, you will spawn in Farum. There's a few steps you need to know, though. I don't know if you need round table hold, but you at least need somewhere to teleport to. And what I like to do is I like to get round table hold anyway. So I'm going to be speeding this up until once I get to round table hold probably. But the way that I get her to spawn, unfortunately, you have to run all the way to gatefront. But the whole point of this is basically you run to gatefront, trigger her there, go to round table hold, and then you just run all the way up the map until you reach the 4 Belfries. I'm so sorry I haven't grabbed the maps. I forgot. I have been rushing through, trying to make things quick. This it removes the number of bosses you need to fight down from like 13 to 5, but the 5 that you fight are all back to back without any running. So you front load your adventure with running, but then you just do a boss rush and beat the game. A couple things you get with this. A couple things to note about this. I typically only do this in New Game Plus and onwards because once you've already established your character, you can just speed run it anyway, and it's just the fastest route. If you're going in on NG, you can still do it. It's a little more dangerous, and if you're not leveling beforehand at least, it can be rather difficult. But for subsequent cycles, you do get one of each slab, which is very nice. And that's really about it. I mean, you get a couple of rune arcs and stuff, but none of the items matter along the way. Once you get to Gatefront, of course, Melina will talk to you. Once she talks to you there, you can just run all the way to the 4 Belfries bonfire, shrine, whatever you want to call it. And after that point, after we talk to her in Gatefront, I'll just speed up the video. But after that point, she'll take you to Round Table Hold, and then you're ready to do the skip. So here we are at Gatefront. I'll talk to her, and then I'll be speeding up the rest of this up until we get to where we do the glitch. Alright. You can mash X or triangle to get through this, of course. Yada yada. I offer you an accord. Thank you, I've always needed a car. Yes. Great. Thank you. Woo! Okay. I will be back, guys. Thank you for watching. It's just going to be like sped up with some funky music on it. Actually, I'm going to slow down here for just a second. I will say two things. It is your choice if you want to be grabbing any shrines on the way, any bonfires on the way. You don't really need to because there's not really anything threatening you. And you're not going to be doing anything in the lands between beyond fighting the bosses. The other thing to note, I just grabbed there, you saw I grabbed one sacred tier. One other thing that I like about this is you don't have to go to a plus 10 flask on your first playthrough. If you're feeling cheeky, at least. And instead you can just grab one there for every playthrough that you complete. So I'm only at a +6, but by the time I hit New Game +7, I will have already gotten 10 tiers, just from the fact that I've run this same route enough times. Anyway, I'll be back again once we're at the Belfries. Thank you. Alrighty, and with that we've made it to the 4 Belfries. It really doesn't take that long. I should have checked my in-game time before I ran up here and after, but that's okay. You go to the very top one and you get a stone sword key, and you get a shrine. It's an imbued stone sword key, I should specify, honestly. Normally what you get here is a Peril Drake talisman, +0, so like some elemental defense all around, but that's okay. Real quick, I'm going to back up my save. Actually, I'll back up my save once we teleport, and I'll finish up here. So you grab the imbued stone sword key, and then this giant spawned in. That's okay. All you have to do is activate this teleporter right down here. If he attacks me, so be it. I'll be fine. Well, those tried to at least. He doesn't even seem to know I'm here. Perfect. That's okay. You travel, and then this is where you actually set up the glitch. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to back up my save file. You can do that on a flash drive or any other thing. PC, it's probably a little easier. But I will be right back after I do that, okay? And then I'll go over what to do. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So, for this next part of the glitch, all that you have to do, open your map, hit triangle and square, or whatever combination you want to get back to the Table of Lost Grace. I would open a timer app at the same time, and then you're going to select OK on this, and hit start on your timer at the same time, and then you're going to need to close your game when you hit around the 2.9 second mark. So in my case, I hold home on the PlayStation button, and then I hit option and hit close game once I hit 2.9 seconds. On the dot, somewhere around there, give or take 1/10 of a second. And then if you do that, when you load back in, you should show up eventually with a few tries. You should show up in Crumbling Farum Azula. So I will be back, and I will show that once I can. Fortunately, with my recording software, I can basically go to the loading screen and then it'll cut there. But you'll see what I mean once it happens, okay? I'll be right back, though. Alrighty. Welcome back. I quit out, so I got the glitch to work. I quit out and I'm loading back in to show. I am loading back in to the same save file. You'll see here's Farum Azula. I only have 4 Belfries. I can show it like this. Table of Lost Grace, these 2, and then 4 Belfries. So that's all that I have. So it works. There are a few intricacies about it that I will now go over. If you are too early when you quit out and close your game, you will spawn back in Farum Azula. If you are too late, you will spawn in the Round Table Hold, which is why I back up my save data, otherwise it's a bit more running around. But you can just run back and forth if you really need to. I go for 2.9 seconds is about my goal, but it varies based on the machine you're using, really. So like if you're using Xbox, if you're using PlayStation, PC, it all depends on runtime and stuff. So it's very variable. Pardon the funny wording. Beyond that, I'm showing you right now, even though, I mean, obviously I'm uploading it today. The day that you're seeing it, totally, definitely. But on top of that, this is post DLC. I'm using the Great Sword of Solitude. A lot of DLC gear. It's all really good. So it's not something that's been patched out, and I doubt it ever will be, because it is a dev spawn point. It is a debugging spawn point. So that's not typically something they patch out. It exists. It's wrong warping from Dark Souls 1. It's the same concept as that. Beyond that, once you get this far, all you have to do is beat Godskin Duo, Malekith, and then the Gauntlet of Final Bosses, you know? Gideon, Godfrey, and Elden Beast. And that's all you have to do for the entire run. It is super simple. I don't really have much else to say about it. I might show the rest of this run, at least most of it, depending on how many times I died of Malekith, etc. But I'm just kind of showing my route right now. I mean, it's pretty obvious what you run through for this, but you don't really need to fight anything at all up until the bosses. If you just run with purpose, you know. It's amazing what running does in this game. Beyond that, for Godskin Duo, they're such a pain, I would just recommend summoning for them anyway, because they're such a silly boss, dude. That's what I'll say. I'll put it like that, right? There is a Sombra 9 here as well, which is really nice. Can't really complain about that. I'm going to grab this shrine. This is the one that I grab usually. Or, if I'm feeling really cheeky and like I'm going to die to Godskin Duo, instead what I grab is the one on the other side of Godskin Duo's Boss Fog. Which sounds really weird, but I'll show you. Bernal spawns the first time you fight. He spawns right here. So triangle, yes, I'll summon. We're being chased. But we're going to start the boss fight instead so that he doesn't get blown up by them. Whoop. Beyond that boss fog there, they don't spawn if you walk properly against the wall. So there's a boss, or there's a bonfire right over there instead. I maybe shouldn't have put Bernal out, huh? This might get super funky because of that. Get over here, Bernal. Please. There we go. Alright. Once he gets into the fight, this becomes really simple. No reason to approach Godskin Duo on that. Like, Noble's just... he gets to stand there. We're just gonna do jumping L1s, honestly. It's pretty good on this weapon. You want to be somewhat close when he's finishing that, hoping that he doesn't do rollout, but typically he just does. Woo! Again, yeah, you can use some pillars. You can get R1s on him and stuff if you're feeling cheeky as well. I'm not, typically. This is the better attack. Alright, so as long as Bernal lives that far, you're pretty much set for this boss fight, right? That's the big thing, is getting him to help with one of the twos, just so that you don't have to deal with the aggro so much. And then by this point, Godskin Duo's practically dead. Yeah. I don't think there's much else to worry about. Basically, once you've hit New Game Plus and you understand how the game works, this is the fastest way that I can think through the game. There's no room more, there's not really any more tricks about it, honestly. This is it. And then you just finish the game. But as you saw, I've only fought, this is like the first boss I'm seeing. One of the first enemies I'm seeing, to be fair, honestly. More damage? Yeah. Whoops. Wow, that kept my input for so long. That's okay. They're dead. And then I guess I'll show you where the slab is, and then after that, it's all up to you, right? You guys got this, whoever's watching. There's not much more to it. I mean, if you can beat Malekith, you can beat the rest of them. And this is the longest part that I actually require. It doesn't really require routing, but like, this part's longer than the rest, so I'm kind of walking you through it, right? And then once you reach Gideon and Malekith and stuff, it's all just boss after boss. You can make this jump. It's very safe and very doable. You just get a sprinting jump start. I think that's about it for this. Basically, though, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm climbing the NG cycles. This is only my second time through it. I haven't had too much time to record recently. Stuff going on at home, but this is it. This is how you get through the game fast, and it's leagues faster than anything else, because otherwise you have to do all of Lanedale. You have to do 2 Remembrance bosses, 2 of the Shard Bearers, I guess, Great Rune Bearers, etc. Like, there's so much more you have to do, and a lot more running. You have to run through mountaintops, all that stuff. And this cuts out all of that just at the cost of having to run through Liurnia. The 2 slabs are gotten up ahead. One by killing the dragon, one by grabbing the slab behind the dragon. Oh yeah, I haven't upgraded my flask yet, by the way. Anyway, I guess that's about it. That's where I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you very much for watching if you did. Maybe I'll go show me fighting some other boss or something. I don't know. But if you did enjoy at least, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. Typically, I do playthroughs against Melania. Like, I fight against Melania and a couple other things. So if you're seeing this, you probably know that. But, I mean, I thought I'd upload something a little bit different, kind of impromptu, just explaining how I'm doing things and my thought process through this. Thank you for watching, though. I will see you guys next time. Bye.